Tov, Sharei Orah, shiur number 7. Good to see the Chatan with us. Chatan domeh lamelech.
Was the Chatan the Shabbat too, by the way?
2 Shabbats you're a Chatan?
2 Shabbat.
Is that how it is?
All
right. Alright, he's pampering you.
Basically.
Our shiur should be Le'ilun Yishmat Ari ben Belor. In different dialects, Belor. Yo. Sion ben who?
Your grandmother.
Mir ben Mazal. Menachem ben Mazal. Yoshua. Le'ilun Yishmat Menachem ben Mazal.
I love you, bro.
Ariya Kohen ben Yafa.
Ariya Kohen ben Yafa.
And Rabbi, one more. Can we add the woman? Shalom bad Yafa.
Shalom Yafa. So we're talking in the Sharei Rishon Sharei Orah. We're talking about Sifrat HaMalchut. So we said in our Hagdama that Hakadosh Baruch Hu, when He created this world, when He made the Tzimtzum, the board? No board today because I don't want to make right now. I have sick. When He created the world, He made a Tzimtzum, and this Tzimtzum, the number that He decided was a whole number to make everything complete was the number 10. The 10th Sphira, the 10th revelation of God, which is the most important one, is the Malchut. So he says over here at page Yud, we're at page Yud 10, on the bottom, David, Kshebat David HaMelech alav Shalom, when David HaMelech alav Shalom, and with so much respect we say the name David HaMelech, the things that he went through in his life. The Ari says that David HaMelech's neshama was buried deep in the klipa. And therefore every human that comes first time in this world, and he was deep buried in the klipa, he suffers from a lot of ridifot. Ridifot means people are after him all the time, bullied.
Hard life.
It's a hard life, and David HaMelech had a terrible life. I don't wish his life upon anyone, even the kingship. I don't wish upon him. I have. So we have over here. So we said over here that there is 10 Sefirot, obviously. And once again, I remind you guys, this part of the Shir, don't share with your spouses. So we have. So this Sphira of Malchut, which denotes kingship, has a lot of names, code names in the Torah. That means when the Torah will say, for example, the word Ammonai, every time you see the letters Aleph, Dalet, Nun, Yud, Rabbi Yosef Chikatilia is teaching us right now. He's revealing himself in Malchut. So right away you should know one thing: the fact that he connects David, Rabbi Yosef Chikatilia, with the Malchut, that means the whole book of Tehillim is the Sphira of Malchut. And also interesting, Tehillim has the numerical value of the wife of the Samech Mem, Lamed Yud Tav, and it has the power to destroy her. That's why in Yom Kippur, before we go to sleep, it's a sigula, not the sikeri, to say the first 4 chapters of Tehillim. Besides the fact that Tehillim is the most read book in the world, probably. Psalms is the most read book in the world. So Tehillim, more than the Bible, for sure. How many Jews have read the Bible? The Torah. The Tehillim is the Malchut. So therefore, it says over here, David HaMelech vehitkin zmirot. So once again, zmirot. Song. Song is in the Sphira of Malchut. Zmirot. When you have a zemer, a song, it's in the Sphira of Malchut. When you sing to Hashem, biyot adam mesader otan zmirot. When you sing to Hashem, when you read Tehillim, for example, and you sing it. Now, I'm not saying you have to go with a guitar and a violin and start singing, but you're saying it through a song. Like I'm singing to Hashem. It doesn't even have to be with a tune. אזי מסתלקין והולכין להם אותם המשחיתים המקלקלים המעכבים. At that time, as you're reading Tehillim, the sigula of Tehillim, the power of Tehillim, not the sigula, the power in Mamish, the power of Tehillim, is to destroy the mashchitim, the satanim, the yetzeharas, the destructive forces that cling to your soul. That means that's why when a person says you have something wrong in your life, read Tehillim. You gotta destroy the satanim. And Tehillim, since it's malchut, and it's also zemirot. Zemirot comes from the word zemer. Zemer means to cut. It cuts off all the mashchitim, says Rav Yosef. Velikra zemirot milashon mezamer. And the word zemirot, which is song, actually comes from the Hebrew word mezamer. Mezamer means vekarat hazal zulim b'mazmerot, to cut off the weeds from the garden. So song actually means to cut. What are you cutting? You're cutting the mashchitim on your neshama, says Rav Yosef. When I come to your house, first I sing, to let go of all the mashchitim that are on my neshama.
So basically, when you read in Tehillim, so it wakes you up basically also.
It cleanses you like a mikvah. Not a physical mikvah, but a spiritual mikvah. Those places that my soul is afraid to delve into. I had fear. With the zmirot, with the songs that I sing, I disperse the mashchitim, says Rav Yosef Jikatilia. That's why in our tefillah, right before we say Shema and the brachos of Shema, we say Psukei, the Zimra, which is Tehillim. And specifically the Hallelujahs. The Hallelujahs have a specific power. Don't skip the Hallelujahs.
So all 5 you gotta read them.
You should. You shouldn't skip anything. That's number 1. ולפי זה הדרך נאמר ברון יחד כוכבי בוקר. A man should sing at the time of the morning. Ve'inyan rina hem azmirot. Singing is the secret of a zmira. And the best time to say the zmirot, the songs, is in the morning, early in the morning.
Dawn.
He doesn't say dawn, he says the morning. Va'azai yitpazru v'yitra'u kol baalei adin hakasher nikrim b'nei Elokim. The angels that are in charge of causing you din are called B'nei Elokim. Those zmirot have the power to cut off those B'nei Elokim from your neshama.
Wait, this is like during Shacharit?
Shacharit, that's what he's getting to. Shacharit. Velashot Yariu. They will. When you blow the shofar, it says over there Yariu, to blow. Milashon ro'eh. Hitroah haaretz. The world will shake. The zmirot that you sing, which is the malchut, that means every time you sing a song to Hashem, ki eshmera Shabbat, any song you sing to Hashem, for the sake of Hashem, you're cutting off the klipot from your neshama.
Even if you're out of tune.
Especially if you're out of tune. ולפיכך צריך אדם לכוון עצמו בשעת תפילה. Therefore, tefillah is also another word for the malchut.
So Zmirot?
So you have Tehillim, Zmirot, and Tefillah. Tefillah, you have to have extra kavana. Lechaven machshevotav karaoi. Be'inyan shelo titakev tefillah. You have to be very careful. Your tefillah won't get stuck mid-air. A lot of our tefillos are stuck mid-air. Velo tashuv rekam. It won't come back empty. You want your tefillos to be answered. Correct or no? That's why a person davens, doesn't happen. Then he gets very depressed. Something happens in his life. Excuse me. And suddenly he starts to cry, Hashem, do this for me. And suddenly, boom, it happens. Those tears that he had, it's not the tears, yes, but
the kavanah.
The kavanah. He had kavanah from the beginning to the end. So you might say, I had kavanah from the beginning to the end. You don't know your potential. You don't know the power of your tefillah. Correct or incorrect?
Correct.
ועל זה אמרו, לעולם יעמוד אדם עצמו. A man should forever. So the person that will translate this book will bring the Geulah closer. I'm reading this Sefer and I'm like, wow, it's like from the Ari, even the Ari Kadosh, like It's like before you even touch the Ari HaKadosh, you have to learn the Sefer. Le'olam yamod adam. So a person should always measure himself. Im yechol litpalel v'im lav al litpalel. There is a Gemara in Brachot Lamed. Brachot, tractate the Brachot 30b. A person should always see, can he daven today or could he not? That means back then, tefillah was a job. You're not going to go to work sick, right? You can't go to tefillah sick. Today we say anyways you don't have kavanah, so you might as well daven. But back then, when you daven, you gotta they used to be answered right away in their tefillah. They used to be answered. The Hasidim Arishonim used to be answered in their tefillah. Halavai. Today we should have tzaddikim like this, that we could. I saw something beautiful today. I tell you the truth. There is a big rabbi in Tveria. You're wearing blue. That's the color of Tveria. Look at me. Yeah, look at me. In Tveria, there's a rabbi called Rav Dov HaKohen Cook. Rav Dov HaKohen Cook. So anyways, he's a very big tzaddik. It's an old thing. The guy has like 4 teeth in his mouth.
You mentioned him before.
From the fasting. Yeah, I mentioned. He's a very big tzaddik. He's like, if you go to Israel, you want to go to a guy that doesn't take money, this, that, he's a tzaddik Yisrael Olam, go to Rav Dov HaKohen Cook. Do yourself a favor. So lately, a lot of people have been blocking people from his room. Like, you know how they have those rabbi, like, you know, you can't come into the room, not now, this, that. He heard about it. He went outside his room, he put a letter on his room. Anyone who stops people from coming to my room to ask for a bracha, this, or come meet me, is going over in Havera. See, that's tzaddik. You understand? There's no protectia. It's not a mafia over here. You come inside, you come in. He wrote it like that. And he has like, I heard story from him. There is a guy inside Knesset. His name is Uri Maklev. He's a religious Jew, Litvak. He works for Yadut Torah, and he said Rav Dov HaKohen Cook was my chavruta in yeshiva. And I remember he used to dip his bread in vinegar. When he used to eat his bread, so he shouldn't taste the taste of bread. Like you have these nishamot once in a while that come over here. They just want HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This is Rav Dov HaKohen Cook. But that's the secret of tefillah. Tefillah, when you come in, you can't come in like it's first of all, it's a mitzvah. When you come inside your shul, stop for a second before you walk into the door. Vani berov hasdecha avo betecha ishtachave lechal kodshecha biratecha. Come inside. Bevet Elohim na'alech beragesh. You're not coming to it. This is Hashem's house. There's no Beis HaMikdash today. This is the Beis HaMikdash. Whoever is Zocha to feel it now will be Zocha to feel it later on. Pirush. If you have the ability lechaven b'tfilato be'ezeh sar shu tzarich b'tpalel v'im lav b'tpalel. Now Rav Yosef Shikatila takes it to the next level. He says when you daven, you have to know who you're davening to. You have to know what sphira you're connecting to right now. Which ministering angel you have to get his approval right now to get inside the door. That's the meaning. If you know how to have kavanah, daven. If not, don't daven. Look how strong they were. This is in Spain. This is a generation before the Ari. This is in Spain. There's a lot of sfarim of sod that the rabbis of Spain had. There's a rabbi today. He's a Nazir. He took Nazir forever. Rav Yehuda, if you take Nazir forever, like a Nazir Shimshon, you could do it.
Like nowadays, you can still do it?
You're gonna do it?
No.
You're gonna grow your hair forever?
No, yeah, sure.
That's it. So,
I might. Whatever I have left.
you're not gonna do it. Relax.
Shalom.
That's to say, well groomed. You gotta be well groomed.
Yeah, okay.
When Mashiach comes, you could take it for yourself 30 days. Right now, what are you gonna be, a Nazir Shimshon? What do you? You know what a Nazir Shimshon is? You can't touch your hair.
No shaping, no nothing.
Nothing.
Zero.
Nada. Zero. But you could drink wine. That's a plus. Nazir Shimshon could drink wine.
Ooh, really?
Yeah. Nazir Shimshon, you take it forever.
Yeah.
It's forever.
But you can drink more.
Yeah. How much wine do you drink for the little guy?
I'll start.
There's 3 kind of Nazirs. There's Nazir Olam, Nazir Shimshon, and Nazir Zman. There's 3 kinds of Nazir Shimshon is but it's forever. You can't do Hatarat Nedarim on that. Any regular Nazir could do Hatarat Nedarim, but a Nazir Shimshon, he's stuck. It's a big responsibility. And imagine your beard is like, suddenly it's just all over the place. You should see his pictures. Like,
No, nothing. You can't touch it.
No, I mean, you can like gel it down, whatever, you know, to make it nice.
you can't play with your hair.
Like what I'm doing
You
now.
can't like
Be a
prep it.
hippie style.
Huh?
You can prep it like nice, you know.
Like
Or
a jean.
if you're already asking these questions, you're not ready. V'achar shodanucha et zeh, now that I've told you this, says Rav Yosef,
You know, the Jamaican
Ki-
Yeah, man.
Ki ikara emunah. Now, another name for malchut is emunah.
Oh, there you go. Guys, there you go, guys. Nine
Emunah
located.
is another name for malchut. Ikara emunah ve'yesod hayichud. The main emuna and the foundation of the oneness. Hu lahavin shimushai. Hashem wants you to know how my castle works.
No.
See, the difference is that those guys in government, lahav, they don't want you to know what's going on over there. Hashem says, hafuch. I want you to know as much as you can, figure out as much as about what I made in this world. And my castle, kabutav. כי כל שמותיו הקדושים הנזכרים בתורה, כולם כלולים בשם בן דל אותיות, שהוא השם יתברך. All the names of that in the Torah is actually just branches of the one name, Yud K, Vav K. והוא נקרא גוף העילה, and that's the body of the tree, כביכול. We learned about this, remember? When we said the roots are Ekye. The roots are the Ekye, and the body is Havaya. And all the Shemot of Hashem are El, Kel, Elokim, V'chule. They're the branches. Ush'ar kol Hashemot hem anafim, like we said, they're the branches. Umehem otzrot v'genazim. From those branches we suck. We suckle all the treasures, all the parnasah, all the stuff. V'kol echad mehem yesh lo pi'ula. Now remember, every name of God has a job. You use the name of Hashem for that job you need to use, you're going to get what you want.
The right way.
For example, mashal. Parable. Otzar sheyesh bo kama chadarim. You have a treasure house that has a lot of rooms. Every room has a cheder miyuchal. One has gold, one has silver, one has copper, whatever it is. One avanim tovot or margaliot, jewels and diamonds. Cheder ze kesef, live silver, zahav. And one room, all amazing foods that you never ever tasted in your life. One minei mashke, all kinds of drinks. Cheder ze minei malbush, all kinds of clothing. When a person wants to get, let's say, to the room of food, he doesn't know how to get to the room. He's gonna die from. He could go to any room he wants. He'll get to the room of gold, silver. He's gonna die from hunger. He needs the food right now. That's the same thing with tefillah. If you don't know what room you need to get into, you're not gonna get your wish. So you could get to any other room, but you're not gonna get your wish.
There's no ways.
There's no way. There's no way. The way is the Shemot
Are we
Hashem.
praying for a wish or are we praying to pray?
Absolutely, you're praying for a wish. One of the greatest, one of the 13 attributes of faith is to know that God is the God of a reward, and God is the God of punishment. It's a very esoteric and nice thing to say. I'm just praying to pray.
No, but you have an obligation.
The truth
to pray.
is,
If
no.
let's say I don't want anything. I'm praying just for God.
You always want something. You need life.
Right.
You need children.
Sustenance.
You need sustenance. You need everything. You need to know which Shem Hashem delves into which cheder, into which room. Of course, no. You should always daven for something. Always. You should daven. First of all, you should daven that you should reach your nar nachi.
What is it?
You should reach your nefesh ruach and neshama chaya yechida. You should always daven for that.
All four before we reach.
All five, John.
But like impossible to
No. Impossible or not, leave it to the
You have to
Eibishter.
reach.
You have to daven that you should reach your nar nachi. You should daven for it. I didn't even say you should daven for it. You should be able to metaken your nar nachi. That's a very important tefillah. With the nar nachi that you get, you're gonna be zochet to a lot of gidulot. But you're not gonna reach the nar nachi if you don't ask Hashem for it. That's the secret in all of this. See, Kabbalah or Sod teaches us, if you don't ask God, He's not gonna give it to you. That's the teva. That's the nature of this world. En man. If there is no asking, you're not gonna get it. Don't be a tzaddik yesod olam.
Yeah, just ask.
Ask right now. Ask for parnasa. Right now, ask. Don't think you're less in the eyes of Hashem because you ask for parnasa.
You have to say it or think
You have to say it, and you have to be specific.
Which part of the prayer? Before
And all the prayers in Baruch Aleinu is about Parnasa, in Shema Koleinu. And anytime you dive into Hashem, even privately, you should be specific. You should ask Him, I want it. And that's actually showing your emunah, because you're showing that I believe that the Parnasa comes from you. It's actually an ilui. It's an aliyah. It's not something bad to ask, oh, I don't need anything in my, just give me life, Hashem. What are you? You're not the Baal Shem Tov. What are you? Even the Baal Shem Tov used to ask from stuff. Even the Ari used to ask from stuff. For stuff. Don't be a Chacham Balayla. Okay? You should always ask for Shalom Bayit. You should always ask for Parnasah. You should always ask for Yeladim Tovim. For Refuah. Always ask for Refuah. People don't ask for Refuah. King David.
How about for the kids?
King David said, what's that?
Which part of the prayer do you say?
תהילתך כל היום תהילתך איי 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 אל תעזבני לזקנה כי כלות כוחי אל תעזבני. Yeah.
We just reached Malchut.
We just reached Malchut. Yeah, you gotta ask for refuah. King David asked for refuah. He said, Hashem, when I grow old, I don't want anybody's help. Not my kids, not my grandkids. I don't want nobody's help. He said that. Kichlot kochi, al ta'azveni. Don't leave me. Well, you think it's a small thing to ask? I always ask for that. Hashem should answer my wishes.
Amen.
You should always have refuah. Trust me, we need refuah.
We need refuah.
We need constant refuah. Let's finish the paragraph because we're already reaching Chasod Laila. So a person has to know which cheder is going into. You don't know which room to go into. The way to know this is to reach the hasaga of the names of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There are names that Hashem has that He put specifically these names on Tefillah, Rachamim, and Slichus. There are names that have connection to tears. When you cry, these gates open up. Some names are connected to Pagaim and Tzarot. When a person is in Tzara and he cries to Hashem, those gates open. To find charm in the eyes of everyone. If you don't know the kavanah about Hashem, shu mafteach, it's the key. The Shem is the mafteach. The name of Him is the mafteach. Who's the reason that your tefillah doesn't come true? This answers a lot of questions of people in our days. How come my tefillah doesn't come true? Yeah. So he says over here, Sichluto, Mioto, Vasagato, Va'azen Ne'amar, Ivel Tzalev Darko Al Hashem Izav Libo, Ki Hashem Yitbarach Yodea, P'tichut Lakoa, Va'asichlut She'enam Yodea, Ve'ezez Otzar U'Medavar. It's our problem, we don't know which name of Hashem could open up which door. That means if you know the name of Hashem open the door, you could be over here, Tzadik Yesod Olam, you could be a Mikubal. Not Mikubal, a Mikabel. Chas v'shalom. V'choshvo, Shira'ato machshava ra'a Hashem manayim. You think Hashem doesn't want to give you your ratzon. Hafuch, ve'eino ken. Hashem wants to give you. But you don't know how to reach the door. If you don't know how to reach the door, that's what's causing you not to open it. V'azen ne'emar, Chata'achem manu atov mikem. Your averot cause you not to know. It's a book in it's a verse in Jeremiah, Yirmiyahu Hanavi. You have to know and delve into the words of the Torah. To know the kavanah of Shem Hashem. To be baki, to be fluent in the names of Hashem, ubishimotehem, and in their names. That means the kavanah and in the Shem. When you will need to ask Hashem a she'elah, you kaven be'oto Hashem. You'll have kavanah in that name, Gabriel John. There could be a name for a zivug.
That's a good name.
What if you know the names but you don't deserve it?
Yeah. If you know,
You still ask.
I will say an answer to that question, but I don't want to. The nature of this world is that when you ask Hashem something and you know how to have that kavanah, He will give it to you. But not all the time you're going to enjoy it. Let me finish the 2 sentences, which is the end of the paragraph. I'll tell you a story that I heard. Where did I hear this story? Of Chaim Kanievsky. A video of him surfaced this past week. I'll tell you a story. יכתב ויקוון באותו השם הממונה על שאלתו יהיה כוונה in that שם שיהיה אהוב למעלה. And Hashem, when you have kavana in God's name, that you know which name opens up that door, you are loved on top and you're charming on the bottom. ונמצא נוכל עולם הזה ועולם הבא, and you have עולם הזה ועולם הבא. Page 12, that's where we ended off. Yudbet. Tell you a story from Chaim Kanievsky and we end with this. There's a video that surfaced of Chaim Kanievsky in like about 15 years ago. About 15 years ago, when he was in his early 80s. So he has a very close rabbi. He's called Rav Ari Trieger. Rav Ari Trieger. And Rav Ari Trieger asked him, he says, there's a guy over here that keeps on asking you to have children. Yoshua. And the guy, you never, you give him bracha, it just doesn't come true. He's saying this to Chaim Kanievsky. So he tells him, thank you. So he tells him, he wants to know, is there something that he should do, this, that? So Chaim Kanievsky, this give to me, John. This give to me, yeah. These two. So Chaim Kanievsky said to him, I'm going to tell you a story that happened to the Chafetz Chaim. Yeah, there was one guy, he was a nudge. You know what a nudge is? A nudnik. He used to go to the Chafetz Chaim all the time. He said, give me a bracha for kids, give me a bracha for kids, give me a bracha for kids, give me a bracha for kids. Chafetz Chaim always used to brush him off. One time he was such a nutnik, Chafetz Chaim said, listen, there should be kids. He had a kid, and Chas Shalom, the kid went off the derech and made him a lot of tzarot. So Chaim Kanievsky said to Rav Ari Trieger, he said to him, sometimes be careful what you wish for. Hashem knows what He's doing. Your job is to ask, to do the mitzvah of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Whenever Hashem decides for you to do, you gotta do. But Hashem made a rule in this world. Tzaddik gozer, HaKadosh Baruch Hu mekayim. When a tzaddik, which is the yesod, the person who's mamash shomer the yesod, from his youth, and he makes a gzera, Hashem says, that's the teva in this world. I'm gonna make sure that gzera comes true. What happens when you force a wish? There's a famous story with the Baba Saleh like that. You're gonna regret it. You're gonna regret it at the end because it's not what you think it is. So therefore, a person should ask b'tmimut. You have to ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu with simpleness. Give me what I need.
Not what you want.
You try your best. Whatever HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives you, it's gonna be the best. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen ve'amen.